Hey, Bearland. Hey, welcome everyone. We ask the Magic 8 Ball. Will 2025 be our best year ever? You bet. Okay, we didn't need the Magic 8 Ball for this. And I am so excited to be here this morning, though admittedly still in my pajamas that I have under this jacket. But I feel like it fits the moment of like the day after and all that. How's everyone doing on this day after? So I wanted to come on here today because in the Deep Den, we typically have this Wednesday live video, and we did not do that yesterday on Christmas Day. And now we're all looking into looking at January 1st and the new year and all that. And I am just so excited personally, because some of you know I've had a rough 2024, and we've been talking about it in the last week because I was, able to kind of tell y'all, but this is the time of transitioning to 2025 and like leaving all that behind. Who else has had a tough 2024 and is looking to leave it behind? Now, I'll tell you, there's a lot about it's all about how we view 2025, right? Because there's a lot of ways we can view it. And I'm saying we don't want to view it in those ways, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of craziness out there. There's a lot of craziness happening in each of our lives, truly, and a lot of challenges that we face. And it is all about how we are looking at it. And so, what my big message today, and I'm like speaking to myself as much as anybody else, is like, how are we going to use, especially these days, these last days of December and transition into January, and really get in like that right mindset groove to just make this the very, very best year ever. And so let me just first apologize, because what you're going to find viewing my live videos this year, which hopefully in 2025 will be abundant, is you're going to maybe view me doing them better and better and better. And some of these early ones might be a little more frustrating because you're going to see me like losing my train of thought, struggling for a certain vocabulary word or something like that. So I do have a brain injury, and it has not affected my ability to sort of yap, just mindlessly about anything. But it has affected my ability to discuss like certain things, and like, because again, short-term memory issues, like various like vocabulary, all kinds of little things happening. And my doctor said, you know what, do more live videos, not fewer. And so you're going to see me this year getting better and better with that. But in the meantime, you might see some lapses, including right now. See that? I feel like that was a little bit of a ramble. And so, but what we're going to do, because I'll just say it outright, like with the cognitive issues that I have, could be straight up scary, okay? And maybe in some universes would be, but I'm not going to fear them. I'm tackling them, all right? And we have the same kind of thing in weight loss. I mean, all the time, like wanting to avoid the scale and not pay attention and whatever else, like wear very stretchy leggings, I mean, stuff like that. And this is a good moment to just look at it all from a fact-based point of view and make your plan to tackle whatever it is. Okay. And so, for instance, it's just a basic example, but for me, and I'm going to be tackling some weight regain too. But I feel like I kind of know how to do that, So that's for me personally, not my personally biggest issue, but we're going to talk about that in a minute for others who are struggling with that. But as an example of like, face the data, whatever that data is in that area of life you need to work on, face it. And but face it like a manager, and just like, I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to work on this thing. So the other night we're playing Monopoly Mega, and I hadn't in all these months done any like board games or anything like that. And we were in Monopoly Mega, you can mortgage your properties. And so I'm there like counting up like how much I'm getting back from the mortgages or whatever it was. Anyway, I'm counting these numbers, and it was like 140 plus 130 plus 210 plus, 170. It was something like that. And so I was able to add like the first two, like good. But then the third one, I really struggled with it. And then by the fourth, adding the fourth number, I simply couldn't do it. And it was kind of shocking because it seems like it is the same cognitive process to add the first and the second. Um, and then the third was harder. Why is that? I don't actually understand that because it doesn't seem like it would be any harder. And by the way, this is something I could do like before the injury. And so looking at that, I wrote it down so that I would remember it. And I also thought, okay, well, if this is an issue, then how can I work on solving it? And so rather than being afraid of what that little experience might suggest about my brain, I thought, okay, well, let me just work on that skill of addition. And so I'm getting a deck of cards with one of these high, like that are for people who are vision impaired that have really big numbers on them. Because what I've also learned is my own reading, which is the like getting the focus on something is its own cognitive work. And so if I can have something that's just super easy to read, then that cuts some of the cognition and I focus on like adding. So like adding cards together like this, and I can keep it in my pocket. I can always have it with me. And so it's like a easy little tool. I mean, there's a lot of ways I can count and add, but that would be a nice little way to do it. In fact, I saw a deck of cards that you can print a photo, have a custom printed photo on the back. And I thought, need to think about that. And so my point with this is I identified this problem. I let it not, I like it like, I'm not going to fear this thing. I'm going to face it and work on it. And I feel like that is what I mean, I know my past self needed that a lot in weight loss. And I think there are a lot of people here today who could, if you just not look, guys, whatever the weight is, it is what it is. Okay. Don't take it as a reflection on you as a person or your value or any of that. Just take it as like, that's my starting point. And now what's my plan to get where I need to go with it? So don't really work on like, you know what, just put the shame over here, because the shame, like as you work on this and go through it, a lot of that will end up washing away. Okay. I feel like, but it is a barrier often to getting started. And I'm giving you all permission to just like shame, not going to worry about it. I don't want you to worry about it because it is not like that, whatever that number is. I don't care what it is. It is not a reflection on you. It is not a reflection on your value. And, it is in no way like it's the shame that builds up around it is the barrier to fixing it. Okay. So we don't want, I mean, so shame, because that shame should have never been there anyway. And we all know that, but it's complicated, but just put it over there, And everyone feels it, by the way. So if you're like, I feel more shame than everyone feels it. Everyone feels it. Everyone needs to put it over there. Okay. And just approach this like, no fears, no worries, no whatever. Over there. List. Go down. Work on the list. Okay. Work on the things that are going to get you where you need to go. Right. All right. So, and like a bureaucrat, like a manager, what's the list? And so for instance, I'm glad I made a little list because I need a list. Truly, this is one of the things the speech therapist told me as she discussed how I do live videos, which in the past was just like, she's like, you need a list, obviously. Okay. So the things you need to do. So here's the thing. Here's what we're going to do. And we often will do the 3-day challenge at Eat Like a Bear. If you're new, we have the 3-day challenge where you can learn like the main meal model that we run around here talking about, but it is highly adaptable. It's like a starting place for people, but January is a really great time to do the 3-day challenge. And, but what I'm really encouraging you is maybe you can do it tomorrow. Like maybe you can implement wherever you are with your eating. If you've already done the 3-day challenge and then you have already adapted a little bit, practice it. Okay. Practice whatever you're going to do and determine if that's what you're really going to kick it off with. That maybe you do need to tweak it and to make it work for you a little better. Maybe you're doing a 2-meal model. How are you doing it? What are the and I have a lot of thoughts on how you should do that. How I would do it. In fact, I have been doing it in this recovery. And so approaches to that, but I wouldn't wait for just like I would start on it. I would start working on it as a project. Like, how can I get this more formulaic, more simple, like the preparation of the food, more simple, more in budget, all of those things that might end up kind of derailing something a little bit or getting you out of that groove, you're working on right now. Okay. That's what these days are for, because we are going to do a community-wide 3-day challenge this year. It's going to be, I need to look at the calendar, but it's more like mid-January, because I want all of us to have a little bit more time in this gear up period. And there's only 1 week between Christmas and the new year. I feel like if we had a little bit more of a runway time for some of these activities, that we're all going to be just like really strong as we come in together and like launch the 3-day challenge. So look for that mid-January. And so that's like all the members. So, we have the deep den, we have member funded area, and Sandra may be back there already putting you in that space. So you're already in there. And there's going to be a good bit of content in there. Everyone in the community, there will be these live videos. You're going to just find me, who knows when, saying who knows, Lord knows what, okay, in these live videos. And we're going to be talking about this whole challenge and this whole focus. And so anybody out there, I want you to start gearing up using all the resources that you have available to you. We have a lot of free resources around here at Eat Like a Bear, so you can use all of them, okay? All of them. And then if you got another coin, you should put into the hat and join some of these other, the deep den. But also we have an essay, the Bear Tracks 2025, that is coming now with access to this January challenge. And so you will be able to put some money in the hat for that as well and get access to additional support and content. That is to say, no one has to put into the hat to clean out their pantry. Okay. And so that's an example of one of those gear up activities that you could be doing right now. And that's an obvious one that, we all tend to do at these times. And so on that too, you're really strategically looking at like what needs to go from the pantry, all that sort of thing. But I would really be doing it with the intention that you're about to launch something amazing and big, and that you're going to do it, set your date. So if it's the community-wide 3-day challenge in mid-January, that's your date. You're getting your pantry ready so that you're just ready to launch and ready to just rock and roll. And that is the spirit of all of these gear up activities. So I'm curious, because we have some ladies back here, and curious what y'all are doing in these days before 2025 to get yourselves ready, but also the vision that you have for yourself in 2025. So I'm going to bring some of these ladies up. But, oh, wait, let me look at comments. Yeah. So, and Anna's back here, but Anna has, you guys, yeah, we're talking about shame in the comments. Oh, and you guys, this is my Aunt Joyce. Hey, Aunt Joyce, how you doing? And Kevin. And so, I'm going to come see Kevin. Okay. See, don't get me off my train of thought, Aunt Joyce. Okay. So sneaky treats. Coming in incognito, sneaky treats, so we don't know who this is dropping the wisdom bomb for us. But shame is a construct of the patriarchy, and we're not doing that anymore. The whole cultural thing, you guys, about fat. Okay, look, so we're fat. Okay, so if we could only just like handle it like that, you know what I mean? That's the goal. And honestly, I feel like I've personally made so much progress in that over these years that, so with the injury, I immediately gained, I don't know, about 5 pounds in the first month. And then that's when we did a community 3-day challenge back in August together, because I was like, this ain't going. Like, my trajectory is bad. Like, I could see the future. And it was a lot of pounds. I was a lot of pounds up. And so I was able to just, and not like carry the shame of it, because I'm still carrying those pounds, but realize like, okay, life is complicated sometimes, and you do gain weight or whatever, and not have that burden. So I felt like for me, that was like a really good growth moment, in really being able to balance, like, yeah, I need to care for myself now, and my calorie, like I was just laying on the couch. Like, when you're just not active at all, I mean, you're not burning any calories. So anyway, it was complicated. Point is, see, I'm getting off track again. Shame is bad. Okay, we're working on it. Working on it. And it is such a barrier. This is why anything, thoughts, the heaviness, all these things that are very painful for our brains. So if it's like the pound, like you step on the scale, you're 280 pounds, you're 380, 480, whatever it is. Okay. And at first you have like that come to Jesus moment, and the doctor's saying, you're going to have congestive heart failure or whatever it is. And it's so painful seeing the number, but then maybe you kind of get started a little bit. But then there's that ongoing like fear and shame that's just like surrounding you, that becomes pain. It's painful to like live in that swirl of shame. So what we do as a psychological mechanism is we just like, this is why we get off the diets and stuff. The shame of the situation becomes unbearable, essentially. And so what we do is we just like shut our mind off to that number, and we kind of revert back to where we were. And it makes the weight loss just much more complicated. And it's why we typically only do it for a little bit of time. Like shame is a very big factor in this. And we have to be past that. We have to be past it. Okay. And we're going to talk about this. This is where the big goal helps too. The big goal is a real central point in the Bear Tracks paper. So by the way, there will be a new version of the Bear Tracks paper coming out by Sunday. So it's this, and it's already, I posted it last Thursday, but let me just say I'm removing some of the scandal from it. And in the process of removing it, I just had an epiphany about how the paper needed to be. So I'm working on change and edits. And, but my writing is far more labored than ever, far more. So, oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So, here we go. So feeling a wee bit disappointed. I ate the 2 desserts we made for our international fellows, getting that sugar right out of the system. Yeah, this is a good time. And look, whatever y'all ate, okay, this is a really good time now to just be cleaning the slate and just, getting back in the groove. And you know what? 2 desserts is, I mean, how many times had we eaten a lot more than 2? Okay. You know what I mean? There's probably always a time in our lives where things were a little bit worse and these things. So, it's all right. But from here, you're just like, what is my very best path into 2025? And that is what we all need to be thinking about for ourselves. What is our very best path into 2025? And so let me bring up, who wants to come up first and talk about their very best path into 2025? Oh, Georgia. We got Georgia. Okay. So I'm bringing Georgia onto the stage here. Good morning.
Yeah, my path to 2025 I want to say it's starting off good. It was a rough year for me too, a lot of challenges, but I'm still starting off lighter than I was over a year ago. So when you made the 2024 challenge to lose 20, I'm at 28 pounds now down. So for that challenge, so I added a few extra onto it. But when I started looking back on my trends on my Renfro scale and everything, the last time that I weighed what I weigh now was over, I think it was close to 14 months ago. So I'm starting off 2025 with that kick butt attitude, because I'm doing good, that I'm going to just knock it back out. And I've got my intentions set to be awesome. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
I love it. I love it. So you're saying you're starting lighter in 2025 than you did in 2024.
Yes. Yes.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
and the shame, it's just like yesterday. I gave my permission because you're with family, and I know that's no excuse. It's no excuse. But I wanted to be able to enjoy. My daughter makes this green bean thing, which might have a few things in it we shouldn't have. But I gave myself permission to have a bite of that and to enjoy being with my grandkids and my great grands and all that. And I came in and I was like, oh, what kind of damage did I do? And I was just, why did you do it? You get that shame and that, oh man, I was doing so good. Why did I do this? And I was up 4/10 of a pound, so, and it was like, it'll be gone tomorrow. It'll be
Yeah.
gone tomorrow. And because everything had a lot of salt in it. So it's like, don't beat yourself up. If yesterday's yesterday, you can't change it. You have to look for today, be in the present. Virginia and I've been, she keeps bringing that up. You have to live in the present. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You have intentions for tomorrow, but you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and you can't change yesterday. So why are you beating yourself up about it? Today is a new day. It's a new start. We're getting ready to start a new year. This can be a new you with a new attitude, new mindset, and a new pair of boots with a new pair of bootstraps. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what? But let's now bring up both. We got Virginia and we got Anna Sewell back here. So let's just bring everyone up and let's just go for it. There we go. So good morning, ladies.
Good
How you?
morning. Good morning. Oh, I can't. There we go. There she is. Oh my gosh. I before we do anything else, I just want to tell everybody right now, you are a success because you have survived every single thing life has thrown at you up until this very second. So just know you're a success and you deserve to make stuff easier for you instead of making it harder for you. And the first step is to mindset and to clean up your environment. Don't have a bunch of things that aren't going to make you feel healthy and full of energy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so do you have specific plans for these few weeks as we head towards the community-wide 3-day challenge in 2025 and all that?
I'm realizing that one of the best things I was listening to this Dr. Martha Beck, and she was talking about stress and anxiety and things like that. Because for me, it's still the cortisol. When I can get that cortisol down, when I can handle whatever life throws at me, I do the best. And like my weight is probably up a bit right now. I haven't checked in the last few days, but this is an opportunity for me to love myself at this weight and to do what I need to do. But anyway, one of the things she was talking about is art. Like when we get into that creation, whether like if you're making a video, Amanda, or writing a book, or if I'm playing in the mud or making colors happen on my photographs, when that's happening, we get into this other space that's really healthy for us. And I realized like even when we were in Arkansas, it's like I let myself do this. But it's what I need to do. I'm so happy when I'm creating things. There I get in this space that is very, very healthy for me and healthy for my weight loss too. So I want to create some spaces with physically and in time for me to be able to do more creative things because I think it helps me in every part of my life. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I already don't have a bunch of stuff in the house that that bothers me. It's just easier. And for me, it's kind of life and death. And I mean, it is for everybody, but for me, it's a little quicker with the diabetes. So I just don't have it in the house at all. And the other thing I was going to say, oh, if you find that you do something that you weren't happy about, approach it with curiosity rather than berating yourself. Like, I wonder why that happened. What could I do that could, what could I do that could make it easier next time? Was I angry? Was I scared? What happened? Why did this happen? And then, either plan on a way to get out of it afterwards, or, allow yourself and find a way to get out of it, or find a way to make it where you're not going to just fall into that. So curiosity is more helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Like treating it like a data point
Mhm.
and analyzing it rather like, oh gosh, I just ate the extra cookies at that party or
Mhm.
whatever it is, and now I feel terrible. Well, first note that really do the self-talk about
Yeah.
now I feel terrible, to realize like the extent of the cost of those cookies isn't
Right.
just the calories, it's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
But then say what on what is just powerful is like, what were the little circumstances that led up to that, and how can I like do it differently next time? And even just engaging in that will make you kind of more cognizant of it next time and of the dynamic.
Yeah.
And look, if you want to like anyone can choose the cookies anytime, but just recognize it's going to be, more calories. The sugar could impact you, like with Anna with type 2 diabetes, more than you need to know what the actual cost is of this thing. And if you want to shoulder the cost, that's your own decision.
Mhm.
So, but recognize what the costs are. And so that you, like in your entire life with all these decisions that you're making, that you can get where you need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Virginia, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm so happy to be here with you today, Amanda, because it just tells me that you're getting better, and I'm so happy for that. We, so I kind of, my, I wouldn't say my eating was just out of control in the month of December or anything like that, but I was not, doing what I know I should do for December. But also, food and money, now those two things, it's odd that they should go together, but I think it's just kind of a um like an excessive thing. So I am going to try my hardest, because I think that I don't want to beat myself up, but I would like to have a January where I don't spend anything other than, like what I have to for groceries, and to work on staying a little bit more strict with my 1 meal a day ELAB meal. Um, 'Cause I looked at my I looked at my weight app. So I started in May of 2020, and by December of that year, I weighed almost exactly what I weigh right now. December of 2021, I weighed almost exactly what I weigh right now. December of 2022, I was up a little bit more, but still right in that ballpark of where I'm at right now. 23, same thing. And here we are in 2024, same weight, like within, 5 pounds, let's say, every year on December. Now, how on earth? I mean, first of all, I am going to pat myself on the back for maintaining because um I don't like it, it's one of those things where, like, you talked about paying the price. And I say that all the time. Like, if I do X, Y, or Z, I know there's going to be a price to pay, and I just have to decide for myself, like, what the outcome is going to be and what that price is that I'm going to pay. And so clearly, when I look at my weight over time, every single December, and it's almost the same, I have made choices all year long that, I probably do this all year, but I still head back to my roots and my ELAB, and I just keep doing that. Like, I know I pay the price if I go out with our friends, but I keep doing this. And I know I pay the price if I eat something on Christmas, but I keep doing this. And so, for me, this, looking back at what my weight was, and the fact that even though I'm not at what a quote unquote goal weight might be, I have managed to stay here at this weight, which is really phenomenal. And I believe it is that it's that consistency of, like, well, today was maybe a little off, but got tomorrow, here we go again, and just doing the thing every day. And I've said over and over again that I'm going to keep doing this regardless of what the scale actually says or the outcome is. I feel better when I eat this way. My body likes it. And so I'm really grateful for having found this. I'm looking forward to what you've written in the bear tracks, and being able to maybe move that number down a little bit. One thing I did do, which I discovered on, some TikTok video or something, I don't even know where I saw it, some reel, that I was having a hard time keeping track of what was actually out in my little chest freezer. And so I took a whiteboard marker, took everything out, inventoried it wrote it right on the top of my freezer, which was like poof, And so now I have like the inventory list right on the top of the freezer, and I can look, oh, I do have chicken, but I don't have hamburger, or whatever the thing is. Or look, I've had this kielbasa in here. I need to cook it and eat it. So that's part of my goal that is tied with weight and money, is to actually use all the foods that I have frozen in my freezer and use those up in my eLab meals. And so those are two things that I'm working on right now.
Well, and so this is amazing, Virginia, but is it like, 'cause I'll lose my train of thought with this budget issue, is so right now you guys go to the stores like today, and you may find ham or who knows what on sale. And so if you're not familiar with like the main meal approach, like my recipes and stuff like that, they all center around really being prepared. So what I'll do is I'll get like bulk ground beef or ham or something like that, and then cook it, season it how I'm going to have it on the salad or the skillet or whatever it is, and maybe keep it lightly seasoned so I can adapt it to a skillet later. But then I freeze it in baggies that are in the quantity that I'm going to use it. So so for ground beef, it's typically like a double batch of what I'd put on a salad. And that's because I put part of it on the salad. And then typically there's someone else running around here, like a couple of people needing like their quesadilla or something like that. And so that's just the way we use it in this household. And you don't overfill the baggie, okay, because you're going to want to like flatten it. And if you flatten it while it's still not frozen, it will then stack really, really nicely in your freezer, and you have really good efficient storage. Anyway, that was just a quick little thing on how we handle protein in these things, but find the 3-day challenge and get one of the books, for goodness sakes. But because these will then save you money. If you go and find that ground beef on sale and you batch cook it and then you put it in your freezer, and even take it to another level and do an inventory list like Virginia, I think that's amazing. That's amazing. And something to think about. So for the deep den people, this is more of a structural thing, but we have these little spaces in the deep den. And one of the ones, a new type of space that we have access to, is called a chat space. And I made one that has vegetarian ideas in it. And I made another one with, sleep, like how to get better sleep. And we've just had a few posts in there. But I wonder if it would warrant, we should think about this, its own little space on like kitchen budget things or something like that. Or like kitchen preparation, meal preparation, like, because there's a lot of ways. There's the way I do it in the books, but there's really lots of ways to approach how to manage your food and your preparation and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if it deserves its own space. If we'd be active enough in it, we should think about it. Or one that maybe it's budget. I feel like that's a real key thing for everyone right now, right? As we face 2025. So maybe that could be its own little chat space, different from a posting space, because the chat space is just text. So it's more efficient in terms of the what you can read in there. And it allows for threaded comments. So you can, like if Virginia said, hey, I'm looking for a certain type of beef or something, and then people could respond right under it, so it would be threaded. So anyway, that is something to think about. But you know what, before, if Vesta is still even here, because this is now a 12-minute-old question, and so Vesta is bringing up an issue about the one meal a day. She said, just she says, I can't do one meal a day. Just thinking, make the salad and divide it in 3. And she said it doesn't work as well, but I think hypoglycemia is my reason for failure. So, Vesta, I'll tell you what, divide it in 3 and give it a shot, okay? And see how it works for you. And I'm going to tell you why I prefer one meal a day, but this is completely preference, okay? And that is I like to feel really super full and walk away from eating. And you know what, Anna, I'm because we're definitely bringing Anna on, but I'm going to mute Anna because something's going on at Anna's place. But so but Anna will have lots of opinions. We all have lots of opinions about this, Vesta. But it's all of us need to find that formula that's going to work for our own selves. And so for me, and for a lot of people, like, hey, let me just eat this really great big meal and then just completely walk away from it. So it's almost more psychology. Because what the danger with the 3 little meals is that you're never actually satisfied with any meal. And so you're always thinking about food as you're waiting for the next meal to come. Well, okay, that's definitely an issue. However, is there a structure that you can create so that you're not thinking about those little things? And I feel like I'm personally getting better at this. I find the one meal easier, to be clear. That is why I started that way. But in this fall, I have been doing more than one meal. And so I've been trying to work out a approach for myself that's more formulaic, that's very systematized, because the big risk is that you're not satisfied and that you end up essentially overeating. Because that's what this is all about. We all have to like get our eating. Calories still matter. Okay, lots of things matter at the same time, including calories. And so it's just easy with 3 meals to just have more. So can you create something like, could you have little meals, one bigger meal and 2 little meals? Would the one bigger meal be the 3rd meal? Would it be the 1st or 2nd? It's something kind of think about, and structure it around your life. We do have, so in the Deep Den and in the recipe finder, we have the draft of a 2-meal ebook. And so anyone with access to that, I would look at that because it's based on something Kimberly did. Kimberly's my sister. And it's interesting. She's very formulaic about it. And so you can kind of look at her formula. And at some point this will be a book, but maybe not for a while because writing is hard. Okay. But what I've done this fall is I've looked at, so one idea, the salad, like say my ridiculously big salad, what if I take the protein out of it and that becomes its own meal? Okay. So say it had chicken strips, it was going to have chicken strips. Well, I just eat those separate. And that's kind of some of the stuff I've been doing. So Vesta, 100%, you can totally do this, however, and work it out however you need to do it. And we'll be having discussions about like the formulaic little meal options as well. But again, just like taking that protein off and it's over here, that is very formulaic. Some people will have like the bariatric bears lean into like the protein shakes. But like what are those? Is that what it's called? The drinks that you get, like, the thing in the little, I don't know what they are, the protein drinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's very formulaic, and because they're have in more need of protein, so they have a very high protein drink. And whatever the heck works for you, go do it. Yep. So let's see. Oh, Tina, the books are the best. Shout out, y'all. If you're new here, we've got books. In fact, I haven't set this up yet, but yeah, and we got the 3-pack. There's this, which is a huge, huge value. So, okay. But now, Anna, I'm going to unmute you.
So 2 things before I forget. eatlikeabear.com. If you want to do the 3-day challenge, if you want to see what books are available, go to eatlikeabear.com, and at the top corner it'll give you some ways to go to those places. The other thing is, if sometimes it's hypoglycemia, but more often it is low sodium, because low sodium will make us feel very similar to hypoglycemia. So look at the stuff in the bearfacts.com about hypoglycemia because I will say that eating several meals a day made me more hypoglycemic because it kept raising my insulin levels. Um, and when I first started doing a little bit more space between my meals, even fasting, I did feel better. So explore that. Know that if you're checking your blood sugar, that's the only way you'll know for sure.
Yeah. And so also on the sodium, but the asterisk on that as well is like if you have any kind of kidney or anything like that,
Right.
and or cardiac, you need to
Mhm.
be talking to your doctor
For sure, for sure.
the
Talk to your
electrolyte.
doctor about that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
there's a lot of information in there in the Bear FAQs.com because Jackie Patty has written some stuff in there too about that.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
explore those. And so if
Mhm.
you are then in these categories of, wait a
Mhm.
minute, I'm on a low sodium diet, take some of
Mhm.
the conversations to your doctor
Yeah.
and get your customized plan for yourself. But this
Yeah.
is, it's all doable. It's just
Mhm.
sometimes we end up with complications and
Yeah.
we have to adapt them. I'm in a like complete stage of adapting like so many things in my life right now. So we all have to be just open and ready to do the things that we need to do.
Yeah.
And so 100%. And Vesta, this is your project. So this is, I feel like this is for anyone struggling with the what to eat question. And so Vesta's already knowing we do one meal a day. That's like what I did to lose the weight. And it's what I show in the 3-day challenge and how the meal is crafted and all that. And Vesta's saying, but wait a minute, not for me.
Right.
So Vesta, this is exactly these days leading into January and all that. This is the perfect time to be exploring these questions for yourself and to be working on a plan. And so then you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to try 2 meals or whatever it is you're going to try. Try it. And then like, don't ever throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No.
So like,
and
wow.
I think if she does, I think Vesta, if you do just take the amounts that Amanda says, divide it into 3. Don't, if it's a salad, don't put the dressing on except for right before you eat it. I think you're going to find that you may feel different. Just that's your box. Like we have a box of 1 meal a day. A lot of us, some of us have a box of 2 meals a day, but it's still the same amount of food. Just try it because you're probably going to notice you feel different just even having it 3 times a day than whatever you're used to eating.
Yeah. And so like, that's your box. What Anna's saying, this is like me talking about, you need to have a formula. It needs to be formulaic, that like, this is what I'm eating. It's predetermined. It's planned. I have my plan and I don't like daily, you're going to get into a better rhythm and you're going to see the pounds just dropping if you're in that good rhythm. And, the whole thing, and we always want to eat more, really. I mean, but the way we're going to get to that place is to be consistent and to keep it in that box. And so that is the key thing, Vesta. And so finding that formula for yourself that is exactly your project right now. Exactly your project. And so Anna was talking about go to eatlikeabear.com and then there's links from there. And what I'm going to do, and I know I'm going to remember it because I'm writing it right now on here is, here's my pen, is I'm going to go when this is over within, let's say 10 minutes of this being over, I'm going to put some key links so people can find them. So the 3-day challenge, the FAQs, yes. And for deep dinners, I'm going to put a link to the deep den content library. Keep trying to like let people know we have a content library, but also to this January, the Bear Tracks paper and January challenge that anyone can just put in and join us. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But members, you're already in there. So like, you're already in there. We're getting it set up though. Yep. Georgia, what you got?
I just wanted to say too, especially for those that are just listening, if they're just starting, when I started 5 years ago, when you're eating 3 square meals a day and snacks in between all of those, you keep thinking there's no way I can eat 1 time a day. I started with 2 meals a day, and within a week, that 1 meal was sustainable. And I think it's just you have to find what works, but the whole eating and everything atoned with that is going to change as you go. Excuse the person photo bombing in here. But anyway, but just give it a try. Try your 2 meals or even your 3 if you have to do 3. And you're going to find that I can go to 2. Wow. You know what? If I make this a little bit bigger, I think this will do. I'm telling you, in a week and a half, that 1 meal was plenty. And I did not think of food the rest of the day. And from going from 3 square meals to snacks in between every one of those, it's amazing. It's amazing. But adjust it to what works for you.
Yeah, and the reality is, I mean, my golly, I mean, some of us, I'm only 5'2". My calorie needs are really very low. And the idea of running around having a bunch of snacks, I mean, it's no wonder I was 280. And they were healthy. Like I was eating pretty healthy food, just way too much of it because I was just eating all the time. And so you have to have some kind of boundary for any of this to work. You really do need some kind of boundary. But now Sharon's asking a question, and Sharon, keep asking. So Sharon is in the deep den, and she says, tell me where I go to the deep den where I can find live chats. Please forgive me. I'm working on it. And so I think you might be asking about our project hubs and our like clubs and all that. Oh, and by the way, when we end this live stream, and the 4 of us, we're going to just take 5 more minutes because I want to, because we're all running events in the deep den. Pinned at the top of the water cooler. Sharon, do you know where the water cooler is? Because that's one to know. Got to find the water cooler. And that's where just like chat, just whatever, or put a post, tell us how you are, that kind of thing. At the very top is the hubs. And that's where you're going to find the link and you're going to find a schedule. But we're working on improved information, Sharon. And at the top, this isn't going to be fully present just yet, but you're going to find a place to click on events. And you're going to see not just like the daily time of the project hubs, but you're going to see some of them have themes, and you're going to know what those themes are, and you're going to know a little bit more about them as well. But for now, for sure, very top, pinned on the top of the water cooler is I think what you're asking about. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm going to go one step further. So click on the water cooler. You will see Amanda's will be the very top post. Click on that post. You have to scroll down a little, then click on the link. And that is what will take you to a Zoom, which is where all of our hubs happen in that Zoom. Click on that link, go into the Zoom. And generally speaking, let's just say 10 a.m. Pacific time every day. There's a couple additional things, but just 10 a.m. Pacific time every day. If you click on that link, somebody will be in there and you can see them and chat back and forth live like we're doing right now. It's just in a different spot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There'll be more options soon, but for right now, that's the best place to go.
Right.
Oh, and Sharon's asking, can I do it on my phone? And so, yeah, you can. It's the interface for because it's Zoom, and the interface is a little more clunky on a phone, but it's totally doable. So don't see that as a barrier at all. No.
Okay.
Nope.
And then I'm going to step in here one more time. So this, okay, so where we exist is in an app called Circle. That is where the water cooler is. If you just were on your computer, you would type in eatlikeabearden.com. That would take you to the Circle interface. Then you could go in and find the water cooler and the other things that are in there. So you can do it either way. So on your computer, that's how you would find it. Same thing on your phone, actually, eatlikeabearden.com. And then you can actually make the little, which is what I did, make that little URL an app on your phone. It'll let you make it an icon. And then I just click on the circle icon and come right in. So it's always on my phone, click on the circle thing, and there I am.
Yeah, and you need to be logged in. And so that's the thing, logged in. And when you first sign up, you get like instructions about all this. But if anyone's having problems navigating that, just like send an email to support@eatlikeabear.com. Yeah. And so
I told Sharon too that, and anybody, message me. If you can't get in, message me, and I will get
She'll
you.
walk you through it. Yep.
If you're a member of the den and you are having trouble with it, message me, and I will get you.
Yeah, and look for. I'm expecting in these next few weeks we're going to have more maybe office hours or some things like Q&As where we can walk you through exactly things like Sharon's asking. Exactly. Yeah. So 100%. Don't, Sharon, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're asking because that's going to help other people find it too. That's wonderful. And we are transitioning some things. So that's another reason we'll be doing more of these so that people can see like the new little elements. Yeah. Let's see. And Michelle left us for a while and is back. And we did talk about you, Michelle. So we're talking about shame and all of that. So yeah. Okay. Well, okay. And I've totally lost my train of thought again. So the big thing is, and we're coming to the top of the hour, but everybody, so our big mission right now is individually to really look at, so like, if you have a sense of the big things you need to be doing in 2025, what are the things you can be doing in this last week, but also especially in the first couple of weeks of January, gearing up. Vesta, testing the meal models that you're eating is absolutely that maybe probably over half of us need to be doing something like that. And just testing it gets you it gets you going. It's setting the intention that you are doing this thing, you're on this path and you're doing it. It's really a great mindset thing to just be in there and working on it and tweaking it. I feel like just tweaking these things is maybe its own success element because you're making it for yourself. You're doing it and you're in charge. And so you're at the helm. I think that's really important. And it's a really great project for right now. And so, oh yeah. So Judy's saying she missed some of this and, yeah, you can totally rewatch it. Judy Sarver. Brushed my hair for Judy Sarver.
You all know me. I like to pull a card from my secret deck, which I absolutely love. And so actually at the top of my notes in my little journal, it's got 2025. And then the first thing it says with intention. So with intention, I said, give me the card that we need to hear right now. And here it is. Are you ready? Everything is on track always. No matter where you are in your life currently, and no matter how difficult things might appear to be in this moment, you are always being moved toward magnificence. That's your card.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Magnificence.
She
Wow.
picks good. She picks good.
Because I do it with intention. I'm sitting there going, what card do we all need right now? And that was the one.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Good.
You need to take a picture of that and then post it in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have a little space, you guys, that shows what is our Century Life photos. Maybe post it in that. And that's public. People can find
that's good.
Find it at eatlikeabearden.com. You can see, and it says like our Century Life photos. It's in the Deep Den area, but it's public. Anyone can view it. It's public for now. We've toyed about, do we make it public? Because then if you're logged out or whatever, anything, you can always see it. Anyone can see it. Yeah. We need that. That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay.
Gosh.
But we're gonna take off now. I want everyone thinking about this and working on it. Work on it. There's no reason not to start this very minute on the projects that you need for yourself for the coming year. And in the process of working on it again is setting the intention for the greatness that we are on the path to. So, okay, wonderful. Okay. So you guys, everyone take care and we'll see you around. Okay. See you around and about and keep asking questions, you guys. So, Sharon, keep asking and cause we'll get it. And again, we'll make the resources, like we may make custom resources just for Sharon. Okay. That's fine. Knowing that how many people are going to need those.
Yeah.
And who aren't asking. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. All right. Very good. Going to see you soon. I'm not sure when exactly. Look for an email from me and who knows, or just subscribe to this feed or something in case I randomly come on here live, wherever it is you follow me or whatever. Because today this is on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I have
Yeah.
no idea how that's working for us,
Yeah.
but we'll just go for it. Okay.
So on
Okay.
YouTube, subscribe, and that way you'll be alerted.
Yeah, there's like a bell notification, and there may
Mhm.
be on Facebook too. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye, you guys. Everyone, you take care. Good seeing everybody today.